Dear students, welcome to YouTube class 12th standard English poem Ulysses. Ulysses was written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. He was born on 1809 and died on 1892. Ulysses is a king of Ithaca. He is a very good warrior, king, and also a searcher of new things. His aim is to find and search new things in the world. He is a curious knowledge searcher and also a very good ruler also. This is the poem Ulysses was written by, already I told you, Alfred Lord Tennyson. This is a narrative type of poem. The narrator is Ulysses. In this poem he has written 70 lines. This is in blank in verse. We can start now the poem. We will see in detail about this poem. Ulysses. The poem Ulysses is a dramatic monologue that contains 70 lines of blank verse. Ulysses, the king of Ithaca, gathers his men together to prepare for a journey and exhorts them not to waste their time left on earth. Ulysses has grown old now, having experienced many adventures at the Battle of Troy. He is the hero of Battle of Troy and in the seas also. After returning to Ithaca, his home country, he desires to embark upon his next voyage. Immediately, he wanted to go next voyage because he is very curious to search new things and knowledge in new places. His inexhaustive spirit is always looking forward to more and more of such adventures. The poem can be divided into three parts. First part is the first for adventure, which does not allow Ulysses to remain in his kingdom as a mere ruler. Secondly, Ulysses handling over the responsibility to his son Telemachus with the total confidence in his abilities. Thirdly, Ulysses' clarion call to his sailors, urging them to venture into unknown lands. We can say in a nutshell, Ulysses by Lord Alfred Tennyson, which speaks of the unquenchable thirst of the Greek hero Ulysses for travel and exploration of new vistas until death would overpower him. See, it little profits than an idle king. Here, this is a narrative type of poem, already I have told you, told by Ulysses. In little profits that an idle king. He says, it's very, very little benefit to be a idle king in his kingdom. He dislikes to be a normal idle king in his country. By this still earth, among these barren cracks. Here, barren mean not able to produce children. He is very old. That's why he cannot produce children to rule. But he has only son Telemachus. By this still earth, among these barren cracks, matched with an aged wife. I meet mean measure and told. With a aged wife, he is not liking to rule his kingdom as an ordinary king. Unequal laws unto savage race mean here unequal laws. He to putting laws and maintain these laws and punishing people. Punishing people mean the criminals is unliked by him. That's why he says unequal laws unto a savage race. Here in this first stanza, he tells there is no use to be an idle king, and also is not an ordinary king. And the second stanza, by the still hair among the barren cracks means, and he did not like to be a aged wife with the waste rocks contented country. His country entirely contented with rocks. Matched with an aged wife, I meet and Dolmin, and he did not like to produce equal laws among the rude people of his country. At the same time, I know only the people of his country. I know about them eat and sleep. Here he says in the fifth line that herd and sheep sleep and feed and know not me. Here he says, being a ruler, I am not like to be with these people. They know about me, my country, ruling and sleeping. He is not like that. At second, I cannot rest from travel. I will bring life to the least. He is not taking rest always because he wanted to achieve something. That's why he is always traveling as his mind says. Drink life to the least. Least mean at last. I will drink mean here. He says up to his end of his life he wanted to achieve something. Least mean at the end he wanted to travel and search new things. Here I can bring and find the hidden treasure and knowledge also. Here it means all times I have enjoyed. More times I have enjoyed traveling and searching knowledge. Greatly have suffered greatly. He has suffered a lot during his voyage, both with those. I have enjoyed and suffered a lot during my travel. It both were enjoyed by him, by me. Here in the second stanza, he says that I know only the people of my country know about me, sleep and eat, but I am not like to be with these people. So I can bring and find the hidden treasure and knowledge. By this stanza, he tells us that he does not want to take rest as he wants to travel to new places and gain more experience and knowledge. At third, if you see, he wants to drink to the very last drop of life. He wanted up to end of his life to achieve something. He wants to drink to the very last drop of life. It means he wants to live the life to the fullest. Least means fullest, entire. At the last means sediment accumulated at the bottom of a bottle of wine. I am always happy with my life and also suffered a lot in my life. Both happy and sufferings I experienced a lot. And third, if you see the third stanza, that loved me and alone on shore and when through scudding drifts the rainy hides, vexed the dim sea, I am become a name for always roaming with a hungry heart. That loved me, the both suffering and enjoyed, all were loved by him, and all alone he has enjoyed lonely in the surface and shore also, on shore and when through scudding. Scudding mean here moving rapidly. It's a tide. Scudding drifts and rainy hides mean a group of stars. We can see the stars during the rainy season. Vex the dim sea. Dim sea mean very dull during the gloomy time or night time. I am become a name here. His mean I am become a name mean he wanted to be in the history of Ithaca and the world during by his achieving. For always roaming with a hungry heart. Hungry heart means he is always curious to achieve something. Here in this third stanza, he wanted to say, the person that they living with me, I am lonely with them in shore, surface and scudding seas with hides in dim on the sea. He says, here it means that he gets name and fame through these adventures. He portrays himself a traveler with an unquenchable thirst. It means endless. Endless, we cannot satisfy his thirst of searching knowledge and new things and new places. Decide to visit as many places as he can. Roaming with hungry heart means the attitude of traveling with unquenchable thirst for adventure, bring new ideas and knowledge from travel. This stanza, much have I seen and known cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments, myself not least, but honored of all them, and drunk delight of battle with my peers. Here he has experienced, he has seen more things, places and cities of man, new men in a new cities. He has roamed, and manners mean behaviors, climates, councils mean many places of ruling people, governments, myself not least, but honored of all of them. He has gone many places. During his visit, all of the places, he was honored by them because he has secured more fame and more achievements and drunk delight of battle with my peers. Here it means delight of peers. Peers mean person belongs to same age group. He has gone with his soldiers and co-passengers in his country when he was going to achieve something. This type of aged man liked him. We can see through this fourth stanza in this poem, I have seen where I travelled known many ideas, persons, cities, and the peoples and their activities, discipline, culture, civilization, climates, advisory committees, and governments. He has seen more type of places, things, persons, and a type of climates also. In there, I was honored in this fourth line in the fourth stanza. Sorry, third line in the fourth stanza. In there, I was honored by them instead of giving a least honor, because I was given honor by my deeds and fame. Here, Ulysses describes his past accomplishments as a warrior, and he reminded of his many adventures with his enthusiastic companions. In the fifth stanza, far on the ringing plains of windy Troy, battle. It is a place, and this is the name of a battle. I am a part of all that I have met. Yet all experience is an arch where through gleams that untravelled world whose margin fades. Here it means far mean distance on the ringing of plains of windy Troy. It's a place, and already I told you the battle. I am a part of all that I have met. I have contribution in all what I have seen. Here it means in this place, not only that battle, here it means he has experienced what he had shared or contributed. Yes, his shares. Gleams mean blinking, that untravelled world whose margin spares. Here he wanted to see the new places and to search something. See, in this fifth stanza he says, we had ventured into Troy. Troy means it's a battle and a place also, and won the Trojan War. He remembers with his companions cooperation in his adventures, and he was a contributor of what he has met in adventures of deeds. He has more experiences and adventures. All the adventures he has contribution. Yet many experiences and contributions are arch. This is an arch. This is an introduction. What he has done, he has secured a lot of achievements. But according to him, this is an arch. This is an initial introduction. According to him, it means beginning in my life according to me, but now untravelled world. It means death. Its entrance shows glimpse to die. Now he has not seen death only, but he has seen all of what he has said above. See the poetic devices of the third stanza. Through scudding drifts, the rainy heights vex the dim sea. These lines are considered as personification. At the same time, see the fourth line of the third stanza, for always roaming with a hungry heart. Here, this is considered as metaphor. See the fourth stanza of this poem. See, and drunk delight of battle with my peers. This is considered as metaphor. Sixth stanza of this poem, for ever and forever when I move, how dull it is to pass, to make an end, to rust unburnished, not to shine in use, as though to breath were life, life pile on life. In this sixth stanza, he says, I felt when I travelled above experience without and ever. I have travelled a lot of places and I have experienced more. And Ulysses says, how boring it, then how dull it is to pass, then to make an end. It is very, very bore. How boring it is just sitting at his kingdom and spending his whole life being an idle person. Then he says to rust unburnished, not to shine in use. Here it means he want to spend the rest of his life exploring the new world, new things, new knowledge. To rust unburnished, not to shine in use. To be an idle person, it is a waste and boring according to him. As though to breathe were life piled on life. Here he says he wants to shine in use rather than being rusted. These were shown about him, the attitude to be active. To be an active person, he wanted to his ideas and things to mix it with the new places, new ideas. Then it is no use and bore from Ithaca up to end of my life. He says up to end of his life, like mused weapon covered with rust by not using. And life is not only with exhaling, not exhaling and inhaling of breath. Life is, it's not a one to being an idle and exhaling breath and inhaling in his life. I would use what I will have my life. God has given my life. What I can do in my life, I will do, he says. Then see the 7th stanza, where all too little and of one to me. Little remains, but every hour is saved from the eternal silence. Something more, a bringer of new things. Here it means where all too little. Here were all too little according to him. It is very little what I have thought to do the deeds in my life I have done. I have done more achievements and victories. According to me, the achievements and what I got, I have secured all the things are I have done in a nutshell. Achievement on new ideas in my life are in a nutshell. That I have not expecting like this is very little, and he feels that every hour or in his life is important. According to him, every hour is saved mean here important. Every hour is of his life is important, and he wanted to achieve more and more. He is old. He is old man, but his spirit is alive and young. Something more, bring a new things. Here he thinks that he has to do something more and gain knowledge till his death. Up to his death, he wanted to achieve something. Then a bringer of new things, and while it where mean explains that they may find had bad experiences challenging the limits of their strength. They have limit strength, but they wanted to achieve something. It gives a new experiences that the death of me not giving avarice. Then see the 8th stanza of this poem. For some 3 sons to store and hold myself and this grey spirit, earning in desire to follow knowledge like a sinking star beyond the utmost bound of human thought. Here means it is bore and unliked by me. 3 sons mean 3 years to stay in his kingdom Ithaca, and hold myself mean taking rest and being a normal ruler. And unliked by me, I would be in Ithaca as 3 years. Here 3 sons mean 3 years. I have desire on traveling to follow. I have desires to travel some new world, traveling to follow knowledge. And this grey spirit mean here he has a, from his born it is a spirit and aim. Grey spirit earning, he is longing in desire. He has earning means longing in desire to follow knowledge like a sinking star. See the line, to follow knowledge like a sinking star. This line is considered as simile because like has come, and this grace spirit earning in desire. Here it means I have desire on traveling to follow knowledge in the aged time also. During this aged time also he wanted to achieve something. Here he says, I am longing for that only. I am earning means already I told you, longing for that only in desire. To follow knowledge like a sinking star mean here Ulysses speaks that he wants to follow knowledge like sinking star. It means two things. He compares himself like a sinking star. It means shining, which means he is about to die. On the other hand, he compares it with knowledge, then beyond the utmost bound of human thought. Here it means he wants to chase after knowledge, new things, and try to catch it sinks like a star. He wanted to try to catch it sinks like a star. The knowledge or the death is beyond the limit of human knowledge. Then, this is my son, mine own Telemachus. In this 9th stanza, he introduced his son Telemachus and his deeds and praising him, to whom I leave the sceptre and the easel. He wanted to leave his kingdom and give his country to his son Telemachus. He wanted to go voyage to search knowledge and new places, go to new places. Well loved of me. He is well loved and honor according to me, discerning to fulfill. He will fulfill what the people and want of me to his kingdom Ithaca. He is very good ruler and he is very intelligent also. This labor mean here his own son Telemachus by slow prudence to make mild. In this rude people of Ithaca, he will rule his country as mild and soft. See, the entire of this stanza we can see. He introduced his son Telemachus. He would give him his country and sceptre, mean royal authority. He would take over the charge in this kingdom what he had. He would fulfill what the country need. And Telemachus is a civilized and knowledgeable person to rule. Ulysses wants to leave his kingdom because he wanted to voyage someplace with his companions, and he is confident that his son has prudence of rule the uncivilized people in his kingdom. He can manage what they need, what the rude people need, to give by his capable of intelligence. He will fulfill what the people and Ulysses need, he will fulfill entirely. See the 10th stanza of this poem. A rugged people, rugged means rough people, rugged means rough, uncivilized people of Ithaca, and through soft degrees. The rough people also ruled by Telemachus in the soft corner, not hardly. See, subdue them to the useful and the good. Most blameless is he, centered in the sphere. Centered means self-centered. He is always in neutral. In the sphere mean in the neutral place of common duties. Decent not to fail. A rugged people, the rugged people, rough people of the Ithaca will be ruled by Telemachus in the soft corner. Subdue them to the useful. He will use very well. The people can use him very well. And the good, he will rule good. Most blameless, he is very good person and a plain heart. Most blameless is he, and centered means self-centered. He is always in the neutral, centered in the sphere when he is ruling, when he will be ruling of common duties. What the people need, he will do in the self-centered the people wanted. Decent not to fail, he will do very well. Here in this stanza, he says, and he becomes capable, and he means here Telemachus become capable king to change the people from uncivilized to civilized. And Telemachus is blameless. He is self centered in ruling the people and neutral to all. He is dutiful. He won't fail to give people to give well ruling. Softly, he practiced the uncivilized people decently by his cultured handling, civilized handling.